Hey, everybody, welcome back to ACES53 with Ed Parcaut and myself. And as you know, today is a Thursday. So what does it mean on a Thursday? Thursdays are Joker days. And what is a Joker? A Joker is someone with unique skill or talent that's brought on as a guest to add value to all of y'all. So this week, go ahead, Ed.
No, you were going to say this week we're going to bring in our guy right away. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, figure why not? We'll just get right to it since we were already talking in the green room ahead of time.
Well,
this week. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say what we were talking about this week, but you were just saying this week. It's funny how you bring us in, welcome back. And I always say, you know, we're totally different on the whole thing. Because to me, when someone says welcome back, it's almost like I do radio. So it's like we've got segment A, B, C, D. And so it's almost like you're just coming right back in the whole segment. So I get thrown away. That's just me personally.
Decided to come back and visit us. So
that works. That's why you're in Dallas and I'm in California.
That's why I'm here and you're insane. What?
Yeah, but eventually it'll be just like New York. How bad everything gets will get better eventually. Same thing here in California. Hopefully with the fires that has made the change, and we'll see if that's what's going to happen.
You completely lost me on that. So we'll go back to
what LA had fires and they pissed off so many people that they're finally looking at how important government is. And we'll move on from my political.
I was going to say, no political rants on here. That's your other show.
That wasn't a political rant. That just said that we have a problem with the fires.
Let me figure out how I mute my other co-host here. Hey, look, I can mute him. Okay. Anyway, on to...
Oh, you're so funny.
I know. Tuesday. David, he did to me too. Back to what we were talking about on Tuesday is... After Steve passed the other week, you came up with a good idea, and that is, how do you let people know what they mean to you while they're still here, right? Don't save it for eulogy. Don't save it for a funeral. So you put together the consistent posts that are going out for how many days?
Well, I started just the one day, and let me back up a little bit. The whole thing about Steve Sims, amazing guy, and a lot of us told him ahead of time what he did for us and everything. And then you see all these people posting, and to me, I'd say maybe 20% of them seem like they were self-fulfilling about them and not so much about the person they're posting about. It could be more than that. And I just was like, this is ridiculous. We should be telling people all the time. And it's the same thing I run into with veterans. You know, we have one day, not a month. And everybody remembers us on one day, but not every day of the year. I always tell people, remember a veteran every day of the year. And if you see a veteran, let them know, thank you for your service. Like this morning at the gym, ran into a guy, older guy, and I saw him the other day and he sings. It was a little different. Anyway, long story short, I said, hey, you know, I introduced, thank you for your service. Come to find out he was a SEAL team. He was on the SEAL team for 31 years. So it was a nice conversation. We're going to have him on Helping the Brave, but I'm just saying connect with people all the time. Let them know how important they are.
Oh, we've talked about before. People don't check in on each other. They check online to see what's going on in people's lives. And that's where we've deviated. It's easy because you can scroll and see what's going on with a lot of people at one time instead of taking the actual time to reach out on a person by person basis. Be like, hey, how's summer treating you? Hey, how are the kids? Hey, you know, whatever. I've learned this. This is my failure on things. I stopped asking specifics with anybody because I'll be like, hey, how's the new job going? They're like, I got fired last Friday. I'm like, okay, I won't ask about that one. Hey, how's the new girlfriend? She dumped me last Tuesday. I'm like, all right. So I just started asking people like, hey, what's new in your world? That way they can tell me good, they can tell me bad, but I've stopped inserting a curiosity question because it seems to be the wrong damn one every single time.
Or it could be the right one. It's just something you need to talk about.
That's true, but it seems to be like
because everybody hides what they need to talk about. They don't want to talk to people and tell them that they're having issues and they need help with things and they need to, you know, that kind of stuff. People do not want to ask for help, or they think the fact that they're having problems is a sign of weakness and their business is doing well. Well, that is when you need to reach out and get help, because nobody, how do I put this? Nobody cares that your business is not doing well. They care about you.
Right. Well, and I watched an interesting YouTube video this morning that on the opposite side of that said, nobody really knows the struggles you went through to get where you are. And we've talked about that quite a bit. And it was Hormozy talking about it. He's like, yeah, he never saw all the times you failed when you sucked and all that. And people don't want to see that side. They just look at where you are now and they don't realize everything that you went through failure wise.
Yeah. They don't care how you got there. They just care where you are now.
Exactly. So,
all right. Are we done talking about bantering back and forth? We can bring in our guests today.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And then, so hold on. One last thing about, so my thing is tell them today is my series I'm doing. Brian, you still don't know how to do it, do you?
Yes, I do. Eventually.
Hold on. Let's do musical chairs again.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
All
We
right.
can put you two on top and be the hats versus the bald guy. So
We're all bald. What the hell are you talking about?
there you go.
Yeah, you
So
don't know
we're
what's under
wearing
this
hats.
dome. So
Yeah, we're all wearing hats for a reason. All right, you going to introduce him, or you just going to?
I was waiting for you to finish. Are we done?
Is he from LA? Because it kind of looks like he's from
He
LA.
is. Yeah. No, so Larry Roberts, aka the Red Hat guy, he actually lives here in Dallas, Texas. What's funny is when I met Larry, it was actually at an event called Success North Dallas, and that is they get together every third Wednesday of the month. And I think you were like emceeing or you were kind of helping out, kind of talk about stuff. And I didn't even know who you were. And come to find out, we're all in the same circle of friends through Karen Gray and some of the other people I met actually through Steve Sims. So Karen Gray, we've had her on the show. I met her at Steve Sims Speakeasy when it was here in Dallas. I helped like Steve find the location, the restaurants and stuff like that. But some of the best things that came out of it were the people that lived locally I never would have met otherwise. And one of those was Karen Gray. And so Karen was part of Success North Dallas back then. So I would I dropped kiddo off at school on Wednesdays, and then I would drive over there and then catch the tail end of the speaker. And Larry was one of the guys that's over there. But what's really unique about Larry is he talks on a variety of subjects. So much like you and I talk about and had been talking about for the last year or so, branding and how important it is. But Larry is all the time on the news talking about AI as well. And then with social media and everything else, he's kind of a jack of all trades. So I would say he wears many hats, but he only wears the one red one all the time. So, but yeah, that's a little bit about Larry.
All right. So why is he here today?
To talk about like consistency of posting and everything else. And what I was going to say is Larry's actually a returning guest. If you guys remember, I couldn't get Wi-Fi in the hotel. So it ended up just being you two on the last time Larry was on. We went through his background about MMA fighting and everything else. And I had to just sit as a participant and listen. So
are you going to do that again today?
Yep, I am. I'm just going to, I can remove myself.
All right.
So anyways, Ed, what's going on, brother?
Hey, not much, man. I feel Brian crying. Let me put Brian back where he belongs in his corner.
That's right. Nobody puts baby in a corner. What?
All right. So what I was trying to bring up, I brought up, I think on Tuesday about how I don't care, because a lot of people are like, I don't want to do video. I want to do this, whatever the reason people say and I'm like, I don't care what you do, just as long as you're posting. Right. And you get something out of it. So with the post we were talking about earlier, I was shocked how well it's doing. And the purpose wasn't to get more followers, it was just to get that information out there. So I think when you do things the right way with the right reason, people understand that.
Well, and talking about consistency, Brian mentions I'm kind of a jack of all trades, but honestly, my foundation is in podcasting, and people always struggle with their podcast in trying to find an audience and get downloads and grow their show. And one of the biggest reasons that they struggle there is because they don't post consistently. I do podcast audits all the time for existing podcasters, and I look at literally 22 different components of their show, and consistency in the length of the show, consistency in the scheduled release of the show, all of that is reviewed as well. And more often than not, they're lacking that consistency, and that consistency translates not just from a podcast perspective, but also a social media perspective. If you want that attention and you want to show up in your friends' feeds and your audience feeds, you got to be out there, and you got to be out there on a regular basis.
I think that consistency of when you say you're going to drop your show and it's going to be there, it has to be done at that point. I don't care if it's once a month or if it's every week or it's 5 times a week, it has to be done. And occasionally you can have issues, but I'll tell people I have my Inner Edison podcast, which was the top 1% of all podcasts in the world. And then I took a 6-month break because people weren't talking about their failures. And I was like about ready to scrap the show. And just because it was amazing. I just got tired of it. I wanted people to talk about their failures. Well, coming back, I'm nowhere close to the downloads I had back then.
Sure.
Sure. It's growing again. But when you do that, then people think you're gone.
100%. And it's kind of interesting because if you look at all the podcasts that are out there right now, and I don't mean to make this so podcast centric, but that's again kind of the foundation of what I do.
It's still about consistency.
Yeah, it's still about consistency. If you look out there right now, there's about 4.5 million podcasts that are out there in the podcast universe, but less than 11% of those are active. And active is any kind of podcast that's released an episode within the last 60 days. So if you have that skip in your consistency and you lack posting on a regular scheduled basis and your audience knows when and where to find you, you're going to go inactive. And once you're inactive, the show's essentially dead. It's extremely difficult to bring a show back from the grave, in all honesty. And it's the same way with your social media. You may have, I don't know, on Facebook, I've got nearly 5,000 friends, 4,972. Not that I watch on a regular basis. I made that number up. But even though you have all those friends or all those connections, the vast majority of those aren't going to see your content. And even fewer of them are going to see your content if you're not posting on a consistent schedule.
Yeah, I have that many, but I only have 3 real friends in there.
Well, I didn't say how many real friends.
It's a Facebook term.
Yeah.
With what you guys are talking about,
frenemies.
yeah, like in the book, Book Yourself Solid, that's one thing that's called like Ash Tiptoe, and that's always have something to invite people to. And that's what they talk about is if you're going to have something, it needs to be consistent, because once you start breaking that consistency, and if you don't tell people that you're going to be doing it, then people, like you said, think, oh, they gave up, they moved on, and they'll move on to something new. And that's why that's the whole same thing of when somebody hosts like an in-person event, and let's say they do it once a month and they take 3 months off for summer, those numbers are so low again to come back because people fill their time with other things. So whether it's your podcast, if you're not posting on social media, then you're not in the scroll. All the things we're talking about is if you don't stay consistent and you don't let people know if you have to move away from that consistency, that's when you're going to lose people.
See, and that's what's so critical too, is that communication. If you do change your posting schedule, if you do change up your rhythm of release, then let your audience know. As long as you communicate with your audience, they're going to continue to support you. But so many people lack that communication, and they just make these changes, or they go on a vacation, or they take a hiatus, and their audience is left going, well, where's my content? Because they lean on you, they depend on you. I mean, you essentially established a relationship, and it would be no different if you were with your partner, whoever it may be, male, female, whatever, and you just stop talking to them for whatever reason. They're going to be like, WTF? They're not going to get it, and your audience is the exact same way.
Or say thank God, one of those two. Your significant other.
Yeah.
Stop talking. Thank God they shut up. Finally.
So Larry, you just talked about before, like with branding also, and what's interesting, what Ed was talking about, like this message is, are you seeing when people try and make it more about themselves and the message, that's where people go wrong? Because what we're talking about before is Ed said, the important part for this was getting the message out. And that's what seems what's resonating with people versus making it about Ed.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, people are looking for you to provide value to them. And while you may be the brand, it's still the responsibility of you as your brand to provide value to your audience. And if you're sitting there just talking about, well, I did this and I did that, and I was over here and I was over there, and I got this award and I was in this magazine, nobody cares. Nobody cares. What can you do for them? Your audience is as bad as this sounds, your audience is very selfish. And in all honesty, being selfish isn't always a bad thing. They're looking to gain value from you. So if you look at it from that perspective that, hey, my audience is selfish, they want to know why I wear this red hat, or what does that mean? What does that do for me? And how can that translate to them? How can they benefit from? I was talking with a young lady this morning, and she wears red glasses, and she actually did a TED Talk. And I was at the TED Talk, and I had no idea that it was her. It was the most amazing thing this morning, sitting on that call. I was like, what? You spoke at that event too? And she's like, yeah, I was the first speaker. I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea that was you, because I'm used to seeing her with bright red framed glasses with her flaming red hair. And it's a perfect brand model. But she was so nervous that morning or that afternoon when she did her TED Talk that she forgot her glasses. So she went out there and did them without them. And I had no idea it was her. And it's no different than me. If I show up someplace, if I don't want to get noticed, I take off the red hat, because people don't even know who the heck I am. Most people don't even know my name. They just know me as Brian, introduced me as the red hat guy. Right. So it's you have to transcend the thing that you're identified as. And you do that by consistently providing the value that's contained with whatever that brand may be.
So did you do this so you could replace yourself with other red hat people?
No, I did it by accident. This was not intentional. Matter of fact,
he's a Limp Bizkit fan.
If you look behind me here, there's a red hat that's sitting in it's in a plastic case now. It's been enshrined. That was the original red hat. And I wore a Supreme hat when I did a talk one time at the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. And I came down after doing the talk, and a good friend of mine who's also a speaker, we give each other a bunch of crap every time we speak on the same stage, just fun stuff. And he goes, but seriously, why are you wearing that Supreme hat? And if you don't know it, Supreme is a lifestyle brand. And I was like, bro, I'm just trying to be cool. That's all. He's like, well, are they paying you to wear their stuff? And I went, no, I'm a 47-year-old white male. They don't even want me wearing their stuff, much less are they going to pay me to wear it. And he goes, then bro, stop wearing it. He goes, but I love the red because I can see you all the way across the arena. Because I'm like 6'3", about 245 on a light day. And he goes, so I can see you.
We're going to fix that. We talked about that the other day.
We did. We're gonna get some peptides up in here.
Mm-hmm.
So but anyways, he said, I can see you. And that really resonated with me. So I went home from that event and I tossed the Supreme hat to the side, bought a $6 unbranded red flat bill hat, kicked it 5 degrees to the right. And the red hat guy was born, and it just stuck, man. And within weeks, I'm not kidding, within weeks, people started recognizing me as the podcast guy, as the red hat guy. And from there, it just really resonated. After about 6 months, I went to Bitcoin Miami. And that's a massive conference, 30, 40,000 people in attendance. And over the course of the few days that I was there, multiple people I had never met came up and went, aren't you the podcast guy? I was like, how do you know? And they go, oh, the red hat.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God, this is legit. So I went home, I changed my business name. I did the whole 9 yards, and the red hat guy was reinforced and born. And I've been the red hat guy ever since. So didn't mean to leave you stunned.
No, not stunned.
Most people are impressed by that story. They go, oh my God, that's a great story.
Ed jumps in now, and I was giving him space.
I've heard the story before. I was waiting for Brian because Brian complains I always talk too much.
But it still hasn't changed anything in 3 years.
Well,
so
yeah,
why today?
Normally people are like,
I was actually trying to bring it back to where what we were talking about there, and I thought Brian was going to say something. So
I was. So that's the point.
I'll bring it back.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll bring it back because in my branding, I'm consistent. You never, ever see me without this hat, one of these shirts with the embroidered of my logo on the left breast, and in jeans, and in typically a pair of Jordans with fat red laces. That is my uniform. You're never going to see me I can go to I went to Subway before this podcast started to get a sandwich, and I was in my uniform. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I consistently show up the exact same way, no matter where I'm at. Brian mentioned that I'm on the news quite often. I show up the same way on ABC. I show up the same way on large stages, small stages, virtual stages. It doesn't matter. I'm very consistent in the way that I present me and my brand.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. It's what started with it all is talking about consistency of posting. But if you post and you're in a different outfit every day and you're picking a different subject and you look different, then people don't recognize who you are. And that's kind of the same thing with me is I started wearing vests because corporate America, we had to wear a 3-piece suit. I run too hot to wear a suit jacket. It became the vest, and that's what I got known as. Now I can go to other people's events as an attendee, and I'll either end up in the green room or people will recognize me and come up and talk to me. So, aren't you the face guy? Because of the vest. And so that's where I do think consistency, it's kind of like saying you have to consistently work out. You don't do the same workout every day. You pick different workouts, but you stay consistently doing something. So is that posting? Now, with that, talking about social media, like I'm playing with different things. The other day I posted the same caption, but I did it on LinkedIn. I did it with a picture and I did it with a video, like 5 minutes apart. And I wanted to see were people even paying attention that it was the exact same wording, but it was in different formats. So play with things also, but be consistent and at least posting several times a week. Or with what Ed's doing is he's got it set up to post consistently for X period of time.
I still post.
I know, but you also scheduled it so that you've got this one campaign.
You can't do your personal Facebook. You have to, with some other schedule, unless with the Go High Level won't do it to your personal page.
Yeah, but can you do it to your personal Instagram?
I only have one Instagram.
Oh, okay. I have one. I have a personal one and a professional one. So I post to Instagram and have it pushed to Facebook.
My professional one.
Got it.
One Instagram is too many Instagrams.
Well, it's like, how many do you need? I mean, it's like, yeah, I could do my businesses, but it's all about me right now.
Yeah.
No, I just say that because I've been getting beat up lately. I just mentioned the Instagram thing because I've been getting beat up lately about not being consistent on Instagram, and that kind of leads us down another path in that if you have a platform, if you have an account on a particular platform, probably ought to post to that account because you never know who's looking for you. And over the last, I'll say month, I've gotten scolded by 3 different times by 3 different people because they go to my IG to see what I'm all about. And I haven't posted there in forever because I'm 53. So guess where I like to post? I like to post on Facebook, and I like to post on
Not
LinkedIn.
MySpace.
So I do still have a great song, playing with the sparkles on my MySpace page. So that's how I learned how to write HTML code, as a matter of fact.
That's the reality. Like when you go somewhere now, I'll be out, I'll meet somebody, and instead of saying, hey, you want to exchange phone numbers? They're like, hey, what's your Instagram so I can follow you?
Yep.
That is the modern method of people don't even hardly ever exchange phone numbers anymore. It's more like, hey, what's your Instagram? I'll just reach out to you on there.
Yep. Yeah. See, and I have a QR code on my phone as my wallpaper for LinkedIn, so people connect with me on LinkedIn. But I used to do Instagram, but I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is about that platform. I just don't like it. I don't know why. It's just I need therapy.
No, I see. For me, if I in a perfect world, I'd post LinkedIn and YouTube, and that's it.
Yeah,
and nowhere else, because eventually people are going to use YouTube to search everything, right? They still do it now, but with AI, it's going to even get bigger. LinkedIn is really used by AI to find out things about people and about things, because they say do newsletters over there. Not newsletters. What's the other post that you put
up? Postings?
Articles.
Yeah.
Articles.
LinkedIn articles. That's the word I was looking for. But I'm just saying so they don't say they search your Facebook, and they don't talk about Instagram.
But you know what's interesting? Because I consistently, is part of the theme here, post, you get your Facebook cover photo, right? So for every speaking engagement I have, I create a custom cover photo for that speaking engagement as part of the marketing for that upcoming event. And because I do that, I hear multiple times throughout the week, man, you are just everywhere. Man, you are everywhere. What are you up to now? You are everywhere. Because they see those cover images change, and it's like, man, now he's onto this. Now he's onto this. Now he's onto this. But I consistently do that, and I have for years, and I've gotten tremendous feedback from that.
Do you do it on LinkedIn too?
I always create a post for LinkedIn that matches the cover photo that I put on Facebook, but I don't change my header or my cover photo on LinkedIn. No, I keep it the same. But I always put a post over there, and I typically see, and this is why I don't like Instagram, because now I got to go make a whole nother image in a totally different format so that I can put it on Instagram. And it's a big pain in the backside, because they just recently switched to 4:5 as their preferred ratio for images instead of just going square, or instead of going 16:9. So see, they have to be the odd man out. They have to be the little redheaded stepchild over there to make us do. I'm going on a tangent now. But man, it's frustrating, because I can post everything I want on Facebook and LinkedIn without making any changes, but I have to do something custom just for Instagram, and that's troubling.
Well, my question was why didn't you change LinkedIn also?
Because LinkedIn functions differently than Facebook. LinkedIn presents the content differently than it's a different algorithm, and it doesn't resonate the same way on LinkedIn that it does on Facebook.
But I'm just saying, for people to see the difference and see the stuff, if they go to your actual page, hey, I'm going to be
my LinkedIn page.
Yeah.
Well, see, and that's interesting too, because I typically don't see posts on LinkedIn when people change their cover image.
No. Well, I don't.
Not something that I see on a regular basis, but Facebook posts it just like a regular post.
Right.
Yeah, but that's because you have it set up to announce it. Where when I make those changes, I don't announce it, because I don't do what you do
on Facebook or on LinkedIn.
Facebook.
I thought everybody, anytime it ever changes, it lets you know here's their new temporary.
Or they tell it not to do that.
Oh, I had no idea. So it's just by default that it's doing it for me. So
yeah.
No, I got to a point where there's like things I was changing. I'm like constant. I don't want people, oh, look at that. Well, no, just shut up.
Well, I don't do anything on Facebook that I don't want attention for.
What are you hiding from?
No, I was cleaning things up, and it's like, I don't, sometimes I don't need people to know, oh, look at his new profile picture. Who cares?
See, and I want people to know when I put my new profile picture out there, because that's, again, it's attention. It's getting that attention, getting those eyes and ears on your content.
I do enough lives a week.
All right. So Larry, what's your opinion? We talked earlier about like Ed uses a scheduler for some stuff and goes on in native apps. Have you seen, I hear different things. What have you experienced in terms of using a scheduling service versus native app posting?
I personally prefer native.
Mhm.
I've played with and the reason I say that is because with the scheduler, I find it to be much more difficult to re-engage with any engagement you have on the posts, because what you're doing with the scheduler is you're posting and ghosting.
Yeah.
So it puts it out there and you don't give a shit whether anybody says anything or not. But the whole part of social media that a lot of people miss is the social side of things.
Right.
So I make it a point that if I post, I'm engaged with that post and I comment on every comment that hits my post, whether it's a thank you and I tag the person, whether it's maybe I expand on the conversation, it can be whatever. But at a minimum, I will typically say thank you or good point or some sort of acknowledgement and tag that person back. And in
Mhm.
doing that, I've seen much, much higher engagement on my post than I do than when you just post and ghost. And the schedulers make it easy to post and ghost.
I
Yeah, but
went to
now that you're assuming that I ghost, I don't. I use a
I am
schedule.
assuming, but I'm based on most people that I've spoke to, maybe not Ed here, but I see that very, very, very commonly.
Well, the reason I do it is because I can hit 3 different ones, and then I go to my personal one to do mine that morning.
Mhm.
It's just one less thing I have to do in the morning before I do my live show during the the one at 8:30, and then the next thing at what we got Tuesdays at 10 o'clock also, and then all that other fun stuff.
So you have more time for your skincare routine in the
Yeah,
mornings? Is
exactly.
that
Yeah, that's why I have a beard now, so I don't have to do skincare.
that's right.
See,
Worst
the
part is
problem
having
is
to
with
shave
the
my
beard
head.
is I got to put on a new coat of paint about once a week because otherwise I'm just white. So,
Otherwise, you'll just look like us.
dude, at least your mustache and goat are still got some color. I don't even have that. I'm just Santa Claus, straight up.
There you go. Hey,
Are you
certain times of
using
the
that
year.
new spray that makes it to where it gets rid of the gray?
Mm-mm.
No, dude, I've always used Just for Men, but I have started moving over to Just for Men released. And let's just not be honest, it's mascara, but Just for Men released a mascara tube now, and you can just kind of brush on a little touch up. So you
Ah,
because that stuff has gotten to where it eats my face if I actually use the whole dye. So I can only dye it about once every 2 weeks without my face getting all laid up. So I got to
so
use
what
the
would
mascara
happen
too.
if you put the dye on and you accidentally shaved your beard too short? Would your skin be dyed that color? Would you have
For
like
the first couple of days, yes, yeah, it dyes your skin for that's you got to get good at it, man, because otherwise you got stain marks on your cheeks, and it's an art form.
I apologize in advance. I may pay Karen just to come in with like the jackass where they run around with the thing and just do it so you have to get rid of the beard and just see what it looks like.
Well, when I was still married, I was not allowed to not have a beard. So that's how bad I look without facial hair.
Yeah, so my wife won't let me non-gray it.
Yeah. Okay. All
But I
right.
came across I saw a thing about a spray that supposedly you can spray it on there, and it's not the same as for men, but over time it gets rid of the gray.
I haven't seen the spray, but I've seen that simpler stuff, and I tried
Yeah.
that brand too, and it didn't do. It was just as bad, if not worse, than Just for Men when it came to eating my face up. So,
Yeah, I
anyways,
tried
I
that.
digress.
Ooh, yeah. Well, but it's part of your brand. Back to the point.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
No, my
Yeah.
question is, since we're on this, have you tried anything else? Have you tried that soap that was out there?
I have tried the shampoo, and it just kind of gives it a kind of a murky look. I didn't like that at all. So, I mean, honestly, as much as I hate to say it, the best product out there is the Just for Men, at least from what I've seen with my experience. Because I paid like $70 for the simpler kit, and it's the Cat Daddy kit with all the extra stuff and conditioners, and it just ate my face up to no end. So I'm like, used it once.
Yeah, I tried it and I broke out into like a rash everywhere. So instead of having a gray beard, or I had a red beard, and I'm walking around like this the whole time.
Dude, the
I lost
whole
it fine.
time. Yeah, it was terrible.
I tried it once. Hold on, I'm gonna find a picture of this show how bad. Like, it obviously did not look anything natural whatsoever. Let's
Well,
see.
it's like Courtney. He went from dark black to gray overnight. I was like, he goes, I just got tired of doing my beard.
It happens, man. It happens.
Let's see, what year did I do that? That was a while
Do we
back.
really care?
Yeah, I do.
No, it's I think it's part of the conversation, but Brian made a valid
Yeah.
point while he's looking
It
for
just
that
did
picture.
not look. It was
Oh, look
way
at
too
that.
dark. Yeah,
Dude,
It wasn't the extra 50 pounds. It was just the
that
beard.
too. Oh man, I ran across some pictures from
bro, in that picture right there,
2016.
it looks like you should be wearing a leather ball cap and singing YMCA. I mean, it's like
We were at the Red
Yeah,
Dress Run in New
I
Orleans.
thought maybe
so
you got
yeah.
stung by a wasp again all over your face.
Hey, let me show you this.
Have you seen his picture when he got stung by the wasp? Or
I did not see that
was
one.
a
No.
bad one.
Geez, he looked like Quasimodo.
Yeah, I just showed my daughter that one the other day. Let me see if I can find, because my mother-in-law sent me pictures of 2016 with the first Father's Day. I'm like, who's that? Oh, that's me. Yeah, it was not a flattering picture. Where is
You were
it?
happy, right?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, like that was the first picture. You can see.
Oh wow, yeah.
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 And then where's the other one I found? I don't know how we got side railed by all this stuff, but it happens.
I didn't know they
right?
made vests that big.
Oh wait, here you go. That's when we were right before when my ex was pregnant. Yeah, so they put me on a bunch of stuff to help get the baby factory going. And I gained 40 pounds in 2 months. I'm like, if you want to know a guy who knows what it's like to be pregnant, this guy here. Yeah.
It's so funny because this morning I was going through Canva. I use Canva a lot for my social media posts, and I was going through, and I just got sucked into looking at all my historical images and stuff that I created. And I came across a picture of me and Casey Haston of Success North Dallas, and Sia Yornet. I don't know if you know Sia. She's here in Dallas too, podcaster. But anyways, I'm at about 325 pounds in that picture, and I'm sitting there with both of them, one on each arm, and I'm just dwarfing them. I am so freaking massive. I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't have my teeth yet. I hadn't bought my teeth. I still had my old teeth that were just nasty little chiclets. I was like, man, the brand has come quite a ways.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Did we hit everything we wanted?
I think so. I think we've gone on to now we're into personal vanity instead of personal branding.
I know, right? Sorry, spiraled. My bad.
That's still branding.
Yeah.
It 100% is. If I was to show up with a gray beard, no one would know who I was. And
or no beard.
Can I pull off this look with a gray beard? Probably not. This is not a 53-year-old look. This is probably a 33-year-old look. And this is how I have to show up. That's what people expect.
It becomes part of who we are. That's one of Steve's vulnerable posts when he was in the hospital, is when he was going through chemo, he lost his goatee that he's known for.
Yeah.
And then because he was doing MRI and all that stuff, he had to take his eye piercings out and whatever else. And he did a whole post about what he was attached to, because he thought when he gave up all the fancy cars and the Ferraris and all that, he's like, I'm not attached to anything, till he lost his goatee. And that's part of his branding. Like if you go look, it's a silhouette of him with the beard, and he was or the goatee, and he was like, oh shit, I am still tied to that. So
yeah.
But yes, I do think we have run amongst all the topics for today.
Well, at least we're consistent.
That's right. Larry, thanks for coming on the show today. I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate it, man. I always love coming on. You guys are great. It's fun to have a little banter back and forth with you guys. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, it's better to have somebody else than just Brian, because he cries all the time.
I do.
Well, when y'all started talking emotional stuff, like I said, I thought I was going to need some Kleenex. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but we made it through.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's doing so well, because everybody's like, oh my God, I didn't know Ed had a heart. I only know he had one feeling.
There you go. Well, did you see the post I did yesterday? Or what day I did?
The grumpy old men. Yeah,
the grumpy old men from the Muppets earlier this week.
Yeah,
I was like, look, it's Ed and I. So awesome.
I'm younger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You taking us out?
Sure, why not? I already started.
I know, but then we derailed it again.
Again, Larry, thank you so much for being on the show today. The Red Hat guy. Brian, thanks for being here. I guess that's the vest guy. And
vest or V-neck.
Vest or V-neck.
That's where you're seeing me in.
You guys, I gotta get it. We're gonna get out. We never get out of here.
Oh, and one more thing, just real quick. One more thing. No, I'm just kidding. Not really.
No, we're good. One more thing.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
This is no more things moving forward. All right. Appreciate you all being here. Appreciate you for listening to us. If you like what we do here, go to our YouTube channel and just subscribe. We appreciate you. We're here Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, guys.
Bye.